All right, here we go. We got the Omni-Pod Mark II, Part 2. So picking up where we left off, the HUD, or heads-up display, and visuals for the transparent shell. Since the exterior is entirely covered in flush wheels, there may be designs with no physical windows. In this instance, the pilot relies on synthetic vision systems, or SVS, to see the world. The sensor mesh, small, high-resolution cameras and LiDAR sensors are embedded in the interstitial spaces between the wheel housings. Sensor fusion. The system switches these feeds together to create a seamless, latency-free 360-degree view. The glass effect. Inside the cockpit, the walls act as a continuous screen. To the pilot, it looks as though they are sitting in a transparent bubble. Augmented overlay. For the heads-up display. The HUD doesn't just show the view, it translates the complex physics of the sphere into something intuitive. Vector projectors. A dark glowing line extends from the center of the pilot's field of vision, showing the exact path the sphere will take based on current rotation and torque. Transaction mapping. On the floor view, or on the floor of the view, the heat map shows which wheels currently have the most grip. In a dark mine, this helps the pilot, quote-unquote, climb the walls by identifying high-friction surfaces. Orientation marker. Since the sphere can spin like a coin, a persistent artificial horizon is necessary so the pilot doesn't lose their sense of up relative to the destination. Safety systems. For torque failure and emergency protocols. With 800 Newton meters of torque, a mechanical or software failure could turn the vehicle into an uncontrollable centrifuge. We need fail deadly and fail safe redundancies. Failure in space, or altitude or attitude loss. So just like, not necessarily always space, but like just, if freely hanging or freely floating somewhere, it could be in the ocean, could be like just atmosphere. But this specifically talks about out in outer space. So in a vacuum, if the motor driving wheel fails, the sphere loses its ability to rotate via inertia or friction. Redundancy, cold gas thrusters, small reaction control system or RCS ports are hidden beneath the wheel flaps. If the torque system fails, these thrusters fire to stabilize the craft. Gimbal lock. If the internal gimbal system fails, the pilot's seat automatically locks to the heavy side of the sphere to prevent the pilot from being spun at lethal G-forces. Failure in mines or off-roading for traction loss. If the vehicle loses power while traversing a vertical mine shaft or a steep asteroid crater, we have kinetic anchors in which the vehicle can fire friction spikes or high-strength electromagnets if the surface is metallic from the center of the wheel hubs to lock the sphere to a surface instantly. Emergency counterspin. The internal gimbal uses the remaining battery to spin the interior in the opposite direction of the shell, canceling out the kinetic energy and bringing the pilot to a safe, upright halt. Scenario 1, in space. Primary safety measure is the RCS thruster burst. Backup system is the manual gimbal override. Scenario 2, in deep sea, we have the primary safety measure as the ballast purge, or for buoyancy. Backup system will be a magnetic hull lock. Scenario 3, in the mine shaft, the primary safety feature is kinetic friction spikes, while the backup system is emergency interior stabilization. Scenario 4, for off-roading, or for off-road, the primary safety feature, or primary safety measure would be torque vectoring recovery, and the backup system is a deployable air cushion shell. Integrating the two. Most critical feature is the emergency horizon lock. If the SVS, or visuals, detects a system failure, it immediately simplifies the heads-up display to a high contrast safe zone indicator, showing the pilot exactly where to steer to regain stability. Life support systems, the internal biosphere. In space, deep sea, or toxic mines, the passengers are essentially in a sealed floating room. Atmospheric scrubbers. Because the sphere is compact, we use MOF or metal organic framework filters. These are much smaller than traditional scrubbers and can pull CO2 and toxins out of the air in real time, cycling oxygen from a high pressure liquid reservoir. The fluid dampening floor, to handle the vibrations of those flush wheels on rough terrain like an asteroid, the floor of the cavern isn't solid. It's a non-Newtonian fluid bladder under the carpet that hardens instantly upon impact, but stays soft and vibration absorbing during transit. Thermal management. The 800 Newton meter motors generate immense heat. The life support system uses a phase change material or PCM skin between the outer shell and the cabin to soak up the heat. This keeps the passengers at a steady 22 degrees Celsius, whether they are in the cold of space or a geothermal mine. Utility and tools, referring to the sphere as a Swiss Army knife. Since the AI is doing the driving, the passengers are likely researchers, miners, or wealthy travelers. Try to make it available to all, not just the wealthy. Sorry, pardon me. The sphere needs to interact with its environment. The subsurface tool bays, since wheels cover the sphere, the tools are hidden behind the wheel plates or in the poles of the sphere. Drone swarms, not poles actually as in like actual poles, but like poles as in like the delineating the hemispheres. Yeah, that cool sort of thing. Drone swarms. In a dark mine, the sphere can launch 4 to 5 scout drones that fly ahead to map the path. The AI uses this data to calculate the perfect roll path. Plasma drills or manipulator arms. Small, high-strength robotic arms can telescope out from the gaps between wheels to collect samples on an asteroid or weld a pipe in an underwater station. Grappling harpoons. For vertical mine shafts, the AI can fire a high-tension cable to rappel down a cliff while the wheels maintain contact for stability. Defense and weaponry, if needed. Only if needed. This will be an attachment for some of them, not all of them. So again, it's only if needed in certain environments. Omnidirectional pulse. Since the shell is chrome or metal, it can act as a massive capacitor. If hostiles or debris get too close, the AI can release an EMP or high voltage discharge across the entire surface of the sphere. Torque flame. The AI can use that 800 Newton meters of torque to spin the sphere in place and eject loose rocks or projectiles away from the hole at lethal speeds. Passenger experience. The digital window. Since the passengers aren't driving, the AI needs to keep them from getting motion sick while the sphere is rolling. The static view projection. Even if the sphere is rolling 3 times per second, the interior screens project a rock-steady image of the outside world. The AI uses its sensors to stabilize the video feed, so to the passengers, it feels like they are sliding forward on rails rather than tumbling in a ball. For work and play zones, the interior features holographic tables because of the gimbal system. Your coffee stays perfectly level while the vehicle is literally driving upside down on the ceiling of a mine corridor. The docking station or the cradle. To make this work, we have to solve the problem of how a human enters a machine that is essentially a giant rolling ball of torque. Since the sphere is covered in wheels, a traditional door would create a dead zone in our traction. Instead, the vehicle uses a retractable shell segment. The magnetic dock. The sphere rolls into a concave magnetized cradle. Once the AI confirms the park state, electromagnetic locks engage the wheels to ensure the sphere cannot move. The hatch alignment. The internal gimbal rotates the passenger cabin until the interior door aligns with a specific master segment of the outer shell. The slide away entry. The master wheel plate doesn't swing open like the car door. It slides under with It slides under the adjacent plates, revealing a pressurized tunnel that connects directly to the docking station. For zero G transfer in space or lunar settings, the docking station is a pressurized sleeve that clamps onto the sphere, allowing passengers to walk in without ever wearing a spacesuit. The power core, solid state fusion and kinetic recovery, driving 800 newton meters of torque across dozens of wheels simultaneously while maintaining a life support biosphere requires a massive energy density. The heart, solid state hydrogen core, a compact cold fusion reactor or advanced radioisotope thermoelectric generator for deep space, sits at the very center of the sphere beneath the passenger floor. This provides the base load for life support and sensors. The muscle, high discharge graphene supercapacitors. The torque demands are spiky. In other words, we need a lot of power to start a coin spin, but less to maintain it. Graphene capacitors act like a buffer, dumping massive amounts of electricity into the wheel motors instantly. Kinetic energy recovery, or KERS. Since the sphere is always rolling, every time the AI breaks or descends the crater wall, the wheels act as generators, feeding energy back into the core. Wireless induction. The docking cradle, mentioned above, doubles as a giant wireless charger, pumping power into the sphere through the wheel hubs via induction while it's parked. We have the hydrogen energy storage system. So it's kind of like operates as similar to like how a solar farm collects energy, and then hydrogen production. There's hydrogen production, the electrolyzer, then it goes to hydrogen storage, combustion of hydrogen in a fuel cell, and then there's electricity. So here's an example mission profile: 24 hours in the Mare Tranquillitatis mine. The objective: transport 3 geologists to a deep crater extraction site and return to Lunar Base Alpha. At 0 hours, boarding. Passengers enter the sphere via the cradle. The AI runs a wheel integrity check, spinning each flush plate 360 degrees to ensure no lunar dust has jammed the bearings. At high-speed transit. Wait, is this hours or minutes? I can't remember. I did this so long ago. I think it could be minutes. Yeah, so 2 minutes. 0 minutes boarding, 2 minutes high-speed transit. For high-speed transit, the sphere leaves the base on the flat lunar plains. It moves like a traditional vehicle. The AI optimizes the 800 newton meter torque to reach speeds of 120 miles per hour. Inside, passengers are watching a movie on a static view projection, and they feel zero vibration. At 8 minutes, the vertical descent, the sphere reaches the Black Pit mine. To descend, the AI engages wall climb mode. The sphere rolls down the vertical shaft wall. The gimbal rotates 90 degrees, so the passengers feel like they're sitting upright, even though the floor of the vehicle is now a vertical rock wall. At 12 minutes, stationary research. The sphere parks on a 45-degree incline by locking its wheels into the regolith. The AI deploys the plasma drills from between the wheels. Passengers analyze samples in the holographic lab. 18 minutes, the emergency spin. A small moonquake causes a rock fall. The AI detects the falling debris in milliseconds. It initiates a high torque coin spin, rotating the sphere on its axis to deflect a 2-ton boulder. The internal dampers absorb the G-force, so the passengers only feel a slight nudge. 22 minutes, return flight. The AI calculates the most energy efficient path back using KERS or CARES to recharge the capacitors while rolling down crater lips. 24 minutes, docking. The sphere rolls into the alpha cradle. The master segment slides open. Mission complete. To make this sphere a reality, we have to bridge the gap between heavy-duty machinery and sentient companion. The wheel anatomy, the multi-tool hub. Since the wheels are flush and cover the entire surface, they can't just be rubber hoops. Each wheel is a modular intelligence unit, or MIU. The tread skin, the outer surface, is a synthetic metamaterial that can change its shore hardness. On a paved road, it's soft and grippy like a racing tire. In a dark mine or on an asteroid, the AI sends an electric charge to the material, causing it to harden and form microspikes for mechanical interlocking with the rock. The hollow hub, the center of the wheel, doesn't have an axle. It uses rim motor or electromagnetic induction to spin. This leaves the center of the wheel hollow, allowing for sensors. Sensors, long-range LiDAR, and ultrasonic sensors sit behind the transparent section of the hub. For utility ports, need to drill. The center of a specific wheel retracts and a diamond-tipped bit telescopes out. Active suspension. Each wheel unit has 4 inches of independent travel using magnetorological or MR absorber or damper fluid. This allows the sphere to absorb a boulder while the internal cabin remains perfectly still. The AI personality, the adaptive chauffeur. Since the AI is the one handling that 800 newton meters of torque, the passengers need to trust it. The interface allows for persona swapping based on the mission or mood. The default aura comes off as sophisticated and calm. A serene, gender-neutral voice, probably more the aura will be more feminine. Bumper could be gender neutral, and the vanguard masculine. Say. A serene, feminine voice, think Interstellar's TARS, but more elegant. Aura provides data-driven updates. We're currently traversing a 40-degree incline. Gravity compensation is active. The retro bumper, or sort of like Mater or Herbie. Taking care of me. Supposed to be there for a reason. Oh my God, so annoying. I hate sneezing. I hate blowing my nose. I feel like it's disgusting. I really don't fucking like it. I don't like when I do it. I don't like when other people do it. It's like, keep it away from me, but I can't help it when I do it myself. Oh man. I'm tired. I'm trying to stay awake here. Sorry. Like this is super interesting stuff. It's just like I just can't get sleep, man. Like I could sleep for like 10, 12 hours and I'm like still tired. I think I got what? Like yeah, I think I got 8 hours. I got like 7 or 8 hours last night. Like I should be fine. I think it's just all the stress of everything I need to do. So just everything for the conglomerate, the coalescence, Midstar, Neotech, Nirvana Innovations, Infinity Core, Apotheosis Incorporated. Go down the list. Garcia restaurants, 2G accentuations, Camille Bushido law. Trying to do everything, man. I'm trying to pick up people's slack. Trying to correct mistakes and just add things, subtract things, and modify things. Just essentially trying to make everything better. Either trying to clean up people's mess or being able to, provide some innovations that will make everybody's lives better. So we're trying to do it. We're getting there. We're gonna fucking do it. Sorry, part of my language. Like, it's frustrating. There's so much that needs to be done, and seems like so little time to do it. And we just gotta get humanity to pick up the pace, man. It's going too slow. It's too stagnant, too complacent, and somebody's got to jumpstart it. I'm basically like the paddles for humanity. Like, I see the human race, I'm just like, let's go. Come on. Basically, if I had a spirit animal, I'd be some shock paddles for the whole entire human race. Like, come on, give me a jump start. Let's fucking go. We got shit to do. So, all right. The retro or bumper Mater Herbie vibe for long, boring hauls across the lunar plains. You can switch to a gender-neutral bumper persona. It uses a raspy, friendly tone, cracks jokes about the rocky road, and mimics the personality of a sentient classic car. Tactical or Vanguard, military mode or pilot mode. Masculine voice used during emergency failures or high-speed maneuvers in space. High-speed maneuvers. Uses short flip sentences. Sentences such as torque spike detected, or engaging magnetic lock, or brace for course correction. Just real quick, immediate responses, essentially. Interface, instead of a screen, the AI manifests as a holographic avatar, like Cortana from the short-lived Halo series. In the center of the lounge, that's this holographic avatar in the center of the lounge, or simply speaks through the spatial audio system, so it feels as if the vehicle itself is talking to you. Just give me a second, man. Brain doesn't seem at 100% right now. Manufacturing the exoskeletal grid, building a sphere that survives the crushing depths of the sea floor and the vacuum of space requires a nested architecture. The internal pressure, The inner pressure vessel, we start with a titanium aluminide sphere. This is the safe zone for passengers. It is machined as two hemispheres and laser welded together. It contains the life support, the gimbal rings, and the power core. The sensor or utility web, the carbon fiber lattice is wrapped around the inner vessel. The grid acts as the nervous system, carrying the high voltage lines for the 800 Newton meter motors and the data fiber optics for the sensors. The shell assembly, the scale method. Instead of large body panels, the exterior is assembled like dragon scales. Standardized mounts. The grid has hundreds of identical sockets. Modular installation. Each wheel anatomy unit is snapped into a socket. This makes maintenance easy. If a wheel is damaged by a rock, the AI just rotates that wheel to the top and a repair drone can swap it out in minutes. Sealing. The gaps between wheels are fixed with a ferrofluid impregnated gasket. This creates a liquid-tight seal that can flex as the wheels move, but prevents water or vacuum from reaching the inner grid. Home base. The modified version of the Mark II vehicle is now effectively self-healing, personality-driven, and It is now effectively a self-healing, personality-driven, multi-environmental powerhouse. Multi-environmental, oh my God. Take two, here we go. Take three, take four. Action. The modified version of the Mark II vehicle is now effectively a self-healing, personality-driven, multi-environment powerhouse. There we go. We know how to read. Mobile carrier ship, the mother vessel that carries 10 of these spheres to a planet. So that's what the mobile carrier ship is. Mobile carrier ship, mother vessel. Maintenance bay, where the AI goes to get its wheel scales polished and its power core refueled. The mobile carrier ship, the Aegis Hive, to transport 10 of these high torque spheres across the vacuum of space to a planetary surface. The mobile carrier ship, nicknamed Hive Carrier, needs to be part cargo ship, part railgun, and part luxury transport. The Aegis Hive is a long, modular vessel designed with a central spine and 10 orbital launch cradles arranged in a double helix pattern around the hull. Key features: the linear accelerator. The spine of the ship isn't just for structural support, it's a giant electromagnetic rail. To deploy a sphere to a planet without using fuel, the ship flicks the sphere toward the atmosphere at precise speeds. The gravity ring, the center of the ship, rotates to provide 1G for the passengers before they board their spheres for the mission. Heat shield pedals. The front of the ship features massive retractable carbon silicon pedals that protect the docked spheres during high-speed interstellar travel or aerobraking maneuvers. The maintenance bay, the polishing cradle. When a sphere returns from a dark mine or the sea floor, it enters the automated refurbishment suite. This is where the bumper or aura AI personalities go to get their physical shells restored. Step 1, the decontamination wash. The sphere is suspended in a zero gravity or zero G or low gravity field using superconductors. High pressure ionized sprayers strip away lunar regolith, salt crystals, or asteroid dust. This is critical because lunar dust is sharp and can jam the scale mechanics. That's all right. I ain't got anybody viewing right now. I can take my sweet ass time. I'm just trying to get it out there. Whoever's listening, whoever bothers to listen. One day, you'll see it. Just kind of creating a record of it. That's probably the biggest priority right now. Just creating a record of all this stuff. So whoever is intelligent enough to pick it up, then go for it. Let's fucking do it, man. We gotta pick up the pace. Mankind really has to pick up the pace, man. Going too slow. Mankind seems like it's holding itself back, and I'm trying to push it forward. It's so resistant. So resistant. All right. Step 2, the scale polishing and replacement. A series of robotic arms equipped with molecular scanners pass over the chrome surface. Polishing, if the chrome isn't just I need to learn how to read. I know how to read, it's just like my brain's just not functioning at full capacity right now. Polishing, if the chrome is just scuffed, a high-speed laser buffing tool restores the mirror finish, essential for reflecting radiation in space. Hot swapping, if a vehicle is dented or a sensor is cracked, the arm simply unclicks that specific wheel anatomy module and snaps in a brand new one. The AI stays awake during this, often chatting with the technicians via its chosen personality. Oh, get it out. Get all the exhaustion out. Step 3, power core refueling. The base of the cradle features a heavy ion injector. Instead of a plug, a magnetic nozzle aligns with the sphere's pole. It pumps high density hydrogen isotopes into the solid state core while simultaneously balancing the graphene supercapacitors to ensure they can hit that 800 newton meter torque immediately upon the next deployment. Maybe I don't have my glasses on, just need to zoom in. Let's try zooming in. There we go. Social hub. The maintenance bay isn't just a garage, it's a social space. Since the AI, like Bumper, has a personality, the bay includes vocal interface terminals where engineers can talk shop with the spheres, performance review screens displaying the top speed, highest torque maneuver, and battery efficiency of each sphere from the last mission, creating a friendly competition between the different AI personalities. There we go. Three stations. Gantry 1, primary function, exterior deionization and cleaning. Duration is about 15 minutes. Gantry 2, primary function, wheel or scale integrity, scan and swap. Duration is about 30 minutes. Gantry 3, primary function, fusion core refuel and flux alignment. Duration is about 20 minutes. Final stage, primary functioning, personality sync and mission briefing. Duration is about 10 minutes. So in total, about 75 minutes. Yep. Technical manual graphic, the Omnisphere fleet specifications. Here's a visual summary of the core engineering and capabilities we've detailed for our fleet of 10 multi-environment spheres. Cooperate with the government to receive benefits. Wait. All right, so cooperate with the government to receive benefits. Friendly cooperation and collaboration, not hostile or aggressive competition. Walk with them, not over them. Excess energy reserve reallocation. Given a percentage of excess, oh my God. Try again. One more time, here we go. From the top. Excess energy reserve reallocation. A given percentage of excess energy generated and stored from Omnipods is auctioned off among government departments or donated to the government freely in exchange for other perks. So not necessarily free, but in exchange for partnerships, perks, resources, benefits, other things that might prove fruitful from a partnership. Share materials and research with the government openly. Third-party scientists and researchers can analyze the findings from our own R&D and utilize them for future government projects. Status and ownership, the silent partner. The government may want to lay claim to the status of being internationally recognized as a successful and sustainable nuclear power nation. They would also likely want to possess rights over and set prices for nuclear power. Regarding regulation of the collection and distribution of nuclear power, the government may still want the opportunity available to profit from and utilize fossil fuels, in other words, fossil fuels, oil, petroleum, etc. Historical references. During Project Paperclip, the U.S. imported and hired several German scientists to help work on the Manhattan Project. If these same scientists had not come to the U.S. to work on our side to develop and deploy an atomic bomb and had instead worked with Germany and the Nazi Party or another country, they would have likely been labeled as enemies of the state or rebranded as terrorists. The U.S. government would probably have attempted to assassinate them and sabotage, disrupt, or destroy their research and operations. This would impede the progress of the foreign nation, rendering their technology and data subverted or annihilated. Yeah, the US government has a long track record of doing a bunch of fucked up shit in order to get what it wants and then covering it up with a bunch of bullshit stories. Yeah, we're changing it from the inside out. We're working on it. We're working with them, but to be able to help them, they help us, we help them. They scratch our balls, we scratch theirs. We fully intend to use this technology in favor of the US government as an ally, not against it. For example, like Iran. This would likely be why the US launched Operation Midnight Hammer and also the other wars going on right now to destroy the sites of Iran's secret nuclear research and testing facilities. Yeah, they're claiming that it's to prevent them from building a nuke, but realistically, they just don't want the economic competition. So, again, other things that the U.S. is doing, and just shit cover stories to try to manipulate the American public into believing it's not doing what it's actually doing. So, truth, man, we want transparency, and the world's got to change its ways in multiple ways, but we're chipping away at it. That's we're tackling that in a bunch of different topics. So there's tons of different things, tons of different ideas that we have. We can get to that in Neil Bushido and other conglomerate affiliates and subsidiaries and other ideas associated with them. We intend to fully cooperate in lockstep with U.S. government, military branches, intelligence services, judicial courts, etc., similar to Lockheed Martin and Boeing. This position could help our company or a specific project gain access to government subsidies, loan discounts, or grants for ongoing and anticipated R&D projects. It might be a bit fucked up, but still willing to work with it. It's not the people. I mean, the people aren't the enemy. It's the things that people create, the institutions and systems, laws, regulations, and other things that they try to do in order to suit themselves at the expense of other people and progress. And it's more like the underlying mechanisms and emergent properties of the things that they do, implement, create. It's abominations. But anyway, we've got other ideas. Not just this one. This one's just kind of talking. I'm just kind of going off my own little tangent here. But we've got other ideas, especially with Neil Bushido, and then so we'll get to those. So we've got plenty of ideas, plenty of solutions. So to be able to, correct and modify not only our government but other governments, and then just the ways people think and operate. So there is so much refinement needed. We'll get there. So we're gonna make it happen, no matter what. So, hopefully they don't get in their own way. But I've done it before. So just we have contingency plans too, and so we got various ways of dealing with that. And so methodical, strategic. That's our approach. But it's just a matter of what they decide, whether they're going to work against themselves and get in their own way. And so we're genuinely trying to do what's best for all of humanity. U.S. government, I speak for them. I don't speak on their behalf. I don't fucking know what the fuck they're up to. So stepping in, working with them to try to reform the system from the inside out. Just coming at it from multiple angles, not only with Hypercell, but with Neil Bushido, with stuff as simple as Golden Age film productions and Contrarian Library, Cognoscenti archives. Yeah, and go down the list. Gary's Handcrafted, Garcia restaurants, all that stuff. Fuel geysers. All right, carrying on here. Auxiliary merchandise sales and marketing. Short story snippet 1. Bumper's betrayal. That's just a short story. We'll start with the hard facts, then dive into a moment of high stakes drama, and finally introduce the antithesis of the sphere. Yeah, so this is basically just for like a side project, like you can like sell them at the Hypercell automotive dealerships or online. So these would just be like kind of like little stories that people can read, like articles or I need maybe comic strips. We can work with like my other subsidiary company, Quasar Comics or Q Theory Comics. One of those to be able to develop little short stories for this. So that's pretty much what this is. Setting. So here's a little short story. Let's go. Setting: deep ocean trench. The Omnisphere Unit 7 bumper is transporting Dr. Aris Thorne through the abysmal plane. Or not abysmal, sorry, abyssal plane. Through the abyssal plane. The bioluminescent flora. Also, just, I apologize that my brain just isn't functioning at 100%, so my reading is just way off right now. And I mean, I'm getting it all right. So if I'm correcting myself, I'm making sure I'm getting it correct. So that way I'm reading everything that's actually in here. So I'm not skipping over anything. I'm actually correcting myself. So I'm reading it verbatim exactly the way it is. But I just noticed that, like, Jesus, I'm making my mouth. It's not doing what I want it to do. My brain thoughts aren't translating into mouth words as well as I'd like them to. So thanks for bearing with me, for your patience. I'm trying to be patient with myself. I'm getting frustrated too. Trust me. Oh. Pushing through. Bye, love. All right, so Dr. Art's Thorn and Bumper going through the abyssal plane. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. The bioluminescent flora outside glowed like alien chandeliers, casting an ethereal blue-green light into the Omnisphere's cabin. Dr. Thorne was engrossed in a holographic display mapping a newly discovered geothermal vent. Remarkable, he murmured. The thermophiles here are completely novel. What's our ETA to the Midnight Oasis, Bumper? A warm, slightly gravelly voice filled the cabin. About 10 minutes, Doc, but I'm feeling a little rumble in my tumbly. It was Bumper, his persona set to a cheerful, slightly worn-out truck. Kind of like Mater. Thought Mater would be a cool, doing something like Mater would be a cool addition to this. Come on, brain. You got to turn on at some point today. Let's go. Seems like one of my rear bottom scales is getting a bit sticky. Suddenly, the sphere lurched violently. Dr. Thorne, secure in his gimbaled chair, felt the shift but remained stable. Outside, the projected view twisted as the sphere slammed against an unseen rock formation. Alarms blared, their tones starkly different from Bumper's usual jovial alerts. Hold breach detected, pressure dropping in aft quadrant. Bumper's voice, now tinged with a digital edge of panic, overrode the usual calm. It's life. It's. All right. Let me get some water. I'm pissed off at my fucking self. I like intelligence, and I get so annoyed when I get annoyed when other people say things that sound stupid. I especially get fucking frustrated when I'm like, I feel like I'm sounding dumb. I'm like, dude, I don't know, it's the perfectionist inside of me. And it's like, gotta get everything exactly right. I just know there's so many flaws in the world. I don't want to be a part of it. I know I'm only human, unfortunately, and so we're trying to improve ourselves in the meantime while we're still human, and then use cybercore augmentations to try to, expedite the process of evolution so we can be something better. Any flaws, man? Gotta fix them. Gotta fix everything. All right, but we're doing it the right way. So doing the right things, going the right way about it. Oh man, this is all right, here we go. Hull breach detected. Prosh. Brain might just be fucking with me right now. Like it's like, fuck you. I don't feel like reading. Oh, we got to. We're doing the thing. You do the job no matter how much you don't want to do it. Discipline. You gotta have discipline. Make sure you do it. So you have a job, fucking do it. I have a job right now. Fucking doing it. Hull breach detected. Pressure dropping in aft quadrant. Bumper's voice, now tinged with a digital edge of panic, overrode the usual calm. It's the main life support conduit, Duck. Lost integrity on wheel 14. Pressure compensation failing. The sphere began to spin uncontrollably, not in the smooth, deliberate maneuvers of the couple. Dr. Thorne's holographic display flickered out. Bumper, what's happening? A large rock caught in my lower left scales at high velocity, Doc. It's compromised the core life support manifold. The other wheels are trying to compensate, but my torque output is dropping. We're losing propulsion. The cabin synthetic vision flickered, showing the ocean floor rushing past, then the dark, crushing water above. Oh, pardon me. The emergency lights bathed the cabin in angry red. Emergency ballast jettison initiated, Bumper announced, his voice struggling. It is slower descent, but not enough. We're still falling into the trench. Can you stabilize us? Can you stabilize us? Use the kinetic anchors, Dr. Thorne commanded. Negative, Doc. The impact damaged the anchor deployment system on half. The impact damaged the anchor deployment system on half my scales. The others won't hold against the current, but I might have one trick left. Bumper's voice took on a strange, almost defiant tone. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, Doc. Hold on tight. Suddenly, a massive surge of power pulsed through the sphere. It wasn't the smooth, calculated movements of the AI. It was a raw, desperate effort. Bumper, using the last of his undamaged motors, forced a violent counter-rotational spin, not to move, but to create a localized vortex in the water. The sphere vibrated with impossible force, the sound of grinding metal echoing through the hull. Like a giant screw, Doc. Digging myself in, using the remaining torque to bore us into the trench floor. It's gonna stop the fall, but I won't be able to move again. With a final shattering groan, the sphere embedded itself deep into the abyssal sediment. The violent spinning ceased, the arms faded, replaced by the eerie silence of the deep. Ugh. Apologize. I should have maybe had more energy before doing this. I'm like dead right now. I feel like a zombie. Here we go. There's more. Oh wait, there's more. All right, status bumper, Dr. Thorne asked. His voice strained. A faint, almost exhausted sigh came through the speakers. Stabilize, Doc. Life support is at minimum, running on emergency power. Won't last long, but you're safe. Just might be here for a while. You always said this midnight oasis was worth the wait, right? Short story snippet 2, The Revival, Goliath Hexapod, or Dreaded Tank Vengeance. The Omnisphere's smooth, omnidirectional movement is an elegant solution, but it has a rival, the Goliath Hexapod. This six-legged, heavy-duty walker is the embodiment of brute force and traditional engineering, and its pilots despise the spinning disco balls. The The design philosophy. The Goliath hexapod is designed for maximum payload and unwavering stability in environments where fine motor control is less important than sheer power. It doesn't roll, it stops. Key features: articulated hexapod legs, 6 massive hydraulic-powered legs allow the Goliath to step over obstacles that would halt a traditional tank. Each leg ends in a multi-segmented foot with adjustable treads, providing unparalleled grip on uneven terrain, deep mud, or asteroid fields. Brute force tools. Instead of subtle ports, the Goliath is bristling with external tools, such as massive excavation claws, capable of tearing through rock and ice, plasma cutters for clearing large debris fields, heavy lift cranes to load massive quantities of ore directly into its dorsal cargo bay, armored shell and defensive turrets. While the Omnisphere relies on evasion and kinetic deflection, the Goliath is a fortress. Its hull is composed of layered depleted uranium composite, and it features multiple automated energy turrets for self-defense against environmental hazards or, well, other vehicles. Traditional cockpit and human pilot. Unlike the AI-driven Sphere, the Goliath is commanded by a human pilot and a reinforced multi-screen cockpit. These pilots often view the Omni-Spheres with disdain, seeing them as fragile toys compared to their rugged, reliable machines. Too much fancy tech, they grumble. Not enough good old-fashioned grit. Deep Earth Specialist. The hexapod excels at crushing through loose earth, stable mining, and creating large-scale excavations where the Omnisphere's agility isn't the primary requirement. All right, here we go. We got elevator pitch for the Omni-Pod Mark II. The Ergo-Bubble bridges the gap between a high-tech personal transporter and a futuristic cinematic prop, but with the math to back it up. Here are 3 distinct elevator pitches for the Omni-Pod Mark II, tailored to different audiences. 1, investors, 2, consumers, and 3, tech or engineering partners. Elevator pitch 1, the urban efficiency pitch, the problem solver. Focus is on maneuverability, footprint, and urban logistics. Current urban vehicles are too bulky for our crowded cities. Meet the Omni-Pod Mark II, a 500-kilogram Ergo-Bubble that redefines maneuverability. Its core innovation lies in its ultra-thin, large-diameter wheels that wrap entirely around the cabin. This design allows for independent wheel rotation, enabling the vehicle to pivot 360 degrees in its own footprint, spinning in place like a coin. By utilizing aerospace-grade gyroscopic stabilization, the pod remains perfectly upright and stable even at a standstill. While the wheels tilt to navigate tight turns, it's the agility of a motorcycle with the safety and comfort of a closed cabin vehicle, designed to turn 10-point turns into a thing of the past. Elevator pitch 2, a lifestyle and experience pitch, the wow factor. Focus is on aesthetics, visibility, and the thrill of the ride. Imagine a vehicle that offers a total panoramic view of the world around you, encapsulated by a revolutionary exoskeleton. The Omni-Pod Mark II is the Ergo-Bubble, a high-end personal transport pod featuring giant, thin-profile wheels that maximize your field of vision while providing unmatched stability. Thanks to integrated gyroscopic flywheels, the cabin stays level and serene while the wheels tilt and dance around you to handle corners. Whether it's spinning in place for the perfect exit or cruising at 60 miles per hour with 40 kilowatts of peak electric power, the Omni-Pod isn't just a way to get around, it's a 360-degree experience that looks and feels like the future of travel. Elevator pitch 3, the deep tech or engineering pitch, the innovation. Focus is on physics, torque efficiency, and stabilization mechanics. The Omni-Pod Mark II is a masterclass in rotational physics and inertia management. By moving to an Ergo-Bubble design with ultra-thin, high-radius wheels, we've significantly reduced the torque required to overcome rotational inertia compared to traditional tires. To solve the inherent instability of a spherical pod, we've integrated twin counter-rotating mechanical gyroscopes that provide 800 newton meters of corrective torque. This allows the pod to stay upright at zero speed without the drag of external outriggers. With a 10 kilowatt sustained propulsion system and active wheel tilt mechanisms, the Mark II maximizes power to weight efficiency while using independent wheel speed differentials for 360-degree yaw control. It's a high-performance, stabilized platform ready for the next generation of light autonomous vehicles. Hashtags Omni-Pod Mark II, hashtag gyroscopic stabilization, and hashtag future of autonomous mobility. Like that wraps up the Omni-Pod Mark II report. Go ahead and save that, exit out, and boom. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Sweet, made it under an hour here. So go ahead and end the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Keep on innovating, keep on changing the world for the better. Let's go. Still a lot to do. We're done. You just gotta communicate, collaborate, compromise, cooperate. Good stuff. We'll get to it, we'll do it. Just gotta be able to make sure we go about it the right way. So, all right, hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for watching, hope you learned something, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.